Oban has declared war on litter-louts. While community leaders are urging residents and visitors alike to clean up their act, there's an army of volunteers rallying at hotspots around the town to clean up other people's mess. I'm on my way to meet two of them, Keep Open Beautiful warriors Alistair Hall and Beatrice Keenan, on patrol at Gallinack.
They are very good there, but nowadays they're frowned upon. This is the farmers' sheep feed bags, but they don't make it, they don't break, they're really tough, and that's what we are using.
But they're good and strong, so
They're
in
really
terms of
strong.
protecting us, they're good things to use.
Because that was a good point that you said, in the past when you've been on your wanders and wandering along, if you've seen rubbish, I know you've mentioned it, you pick it up,
An
but
old
now with the
plastic bottle like that.
virus, you're thinking,
You don't know really.
you can't risk it, can you?
No, I wouldn't.
So it's good to see you with all your proper
Not
gear.
even for a biscuit.
Not even for a biscuit. So how many times would you sort of come out and do this route then? Would you
For a walk,
and sort of do, or do you, so,
every day.
so you'd walk
every
every day and litter picking?
Oh, this is the first time we've done a
Right.
litter pick,
Right.
because we've only just recently got the equipment to do it safely, so that's why we might have done it earlier. That's what I was saying earlier. I wish I had done it last week before the verges were cut, because I think the long grass is covering over quite a lot of the litter that was there. And then once the wind comes and takes that grass away, it'll expose the litter again, so we'll probably have to repeat the exercise.
Sometime.
But in terms of walking this week, we walk down here, we go up that slope there, and that takes you along to Pulpit Hill and back down again. It's a lovely walk.
It's such a beautiful spot, and it's such a shame to see it being blighted with rubbish. Rubbish.
It's really not what you want to see when you're out for a pleasant walk. We walk our dogs down here all the time.
I know we just found the small frying pan, and we've had the fish slice that you've picked up. But is that amongst the most unusual thing that you've found in all your litter picking? Would you say?
Today, Alistair, you found something, did you, to go with the fish slice, you said?
Plastic forks, disposable cutlery. I think we've been coming down here to eat the fish and chips and then just leaving it when they're finished.
But then, why leave your rubbish?
Who knows? It's hard to imagine. You would guess that they're coming here to enjoy the scenery. So, as you say, why blight it with litter? It's hard to understand.
I mean, I often, when the children were young, they would go home with pockets full of their paper that, take that
Take it
home,
home.
don't drop it. And same with myself, the pockets used to be full of sweetie papers and everything.
I mean, some argue that it's a lack of bins. I mean, certainly if we walk from our house, which is just up before the yacht club, all the way down there and back, there isn't one bin.
That's quite a distance, isn't it?
So like for our dog poo, for example, we bag it. If they do their poo just after we start our walk, then we're carrying that with us for over an hour. By the time we've finished our walk, there's nowhere to dispose of it until we get back to our house again. So there might be an argument for more facilities for disposing of litter. And I would have thought, there's a shelter there for the ferry over to Kerrera. People will be sitting there, maybe having their sandwich and a bottle of juice while they're waiting for the ferry. When they're finished with that, they either put it in their pockets and take it home, but there's no bin to put it on, so they might just dump it on the ground.
I wonder if they don't have bins because they know they're going to have to add it to the emptying route, and what with the shortage on council fees.
But the council lorries come down here to collect the refuse from Kerrera. The ferry brings the wheelie bins over. They sit there until the council lorry comes to collect it. I wouldn't have thought it would. The council lorry is there. If it's general waste, why not just empty a bin at the same time?
Where we live along the road, Alistair, you just put your bins out the time, but ours sit in our car park, and it's good. People walk along and they kind of open the bin and look, and they put the rubbish in. I don't mind because it saves having rubbish on the road.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
they
I
do
would have no
use
objection to that either,
Yes, they use our bins,
You're
but that's
quite happy
good.
for that.
Yes, rather than fling it over our fence. Yeah.
I was mentioning earlier on about the wind. I mean, that is an issue I find with our recyclable bin. That if it's windy, I have to put a big slab on the top, because we usually put it out the night before, because the collection can be quite early. and we don't want to miss it. And if it's windy, then I'll put a big slab on top to stop the lid lifting, because if it does, then the litter will display all the way up the street. Yours are well secured.
So when I went to Ganavan a few weeks ago, up on the flat bits of grass, there was a double airbed inflated. You missed that bit, Alistair. Oops, sorry, Beatrice has got it. Oh, making up with a cigarette butt. All right, you're equals now. You're equals now. But there was an inflated double airbed with 2 pillows and an open sleeping bag and 2 chairs. And there was only me around. And I was sort of looking, thinking, well, I wonder if someone's just sort of gone off for a walk, but really my head was telling me, no, someone spent the night here. And then they've actually just gone off and left it. And if it hadn't been COVID, I'd have that have been in the back of the car. I'd have scavenged them.
But that's the worry. You're just not sure what's safe to pick up and what's not, and especially with your bare hands. So I'd rather not take the risk.
No, because you're there sort of, you've got your litter pickers, you've got your gloves on, you've got your high-vis, keep open beautiful vest on, so...
Yeah.
I mean, that's a good message. I mean, I suppose there's quite a few people wandering around doing this with the vests on, with the message on the back. Maybe people will start to think,
I think the main group do a lot of the work in Denali. The Witches Woods seems to be very bad for littering. And I think I see regular posts of people doing litter picks there every other week.
Yes, I've been talking to Laura Korb, isn't it Korb?
Yeah.
And she was saying that people from Soraba have been in touch, saying there's a little woodland area up there and they would like to try and get something organised to start clearing that up.
I think I saw a post about that one, yes. I'm not familiar with that area particularly. But I've helped out that particular group up at the Hydro before, and it was literally dozens of sacks full of cans and bottles.
Sounds like Party Central up there.
Yeah, and very tricky because a lot of broken glass as well. A lot of people have given up walking their dogs up there now because of splinters of glass and the risk of injury to the paws and that kind of thing. So, but unfortunately it's not a case that you clear it up and that's it. You clear it up and you know a couple of weeks later it's going to be back to square one and start all over again.
So what's the answer?
Oh well, who knows? I mean, people have suggested regular police patrols, but I mean, they've got to be there at the right time.
Yeah, I think I was talking to the councillors and they were saying similar, they're getting inundated with people reporting, like lots of waste or problems or antisocial behaviour, but they're sort of not doing it till the next day, and really the thing is to strike while the iron's hot, so to speak. You've got a chance of...
And there's plenty of education that goes on in schools, there's no question about that. The schools are doing good jobs about educating children about littering and keeping the place beautiful. So, education has to be a part of it, but as far as I can see, that is being done. So.
Well, you're doing a great job. You and Beatrice, you get my gold stars for today. Well done. Okay, well, I'm going to let you carry on now. So, happy litter picking, and I hope you don't have to come out and do it too often.
Cathy Goes Litter Picking was written and presented by Cathy Griffiths, with contributions from Alistair Hall and Beatrice Keenan. The music was by Chris Bennett, and the editor was Stephen Day. It was a Wivex Media production for The Oban Times. If you have enjoyed this podcast, we've got lots more at our website, www.obantimes.co.uk/podcasts.